big players need to get into the picture. Then only the depth will come. Otherwise, today depth is not there. And skill, and that's where we recognize this very early in the stage in our MRO, because we find that we are also one of our bigger exports of India is also manpower. So the India is also manpower. So we set up the school to take care of the skill gap that is there. So some of these things require a much bigger debate and planning. But yes, potential is there. India has got a huge country. Potential is there. Domestic market is available. So we need to see how we can convert that into a big opportunity for us. Thank you.
Great. In fact, two people I always admire. First, a clap for you.
Thank you.
Two people I always admire. One is Mr. Tushar Jani. What he has done in the field of air cargo is really great. And another person is Mr. G.M. Rao. What he has done in the field of airports developments, it is fantastic. And now, of course, your turn will also come after 2 years. And we'll say that you are the person who established the engine MRO in the country. I'll again come back to you. And that time, Ashok ji and Bhavankar ji, I'll have 5 points for you. When I was coming for this session, and I asked some experts, what is your wish list for the MRO sector? They said, number 1, position India as a global MRO hub. Number 2, reduce foreign MRO dependency. Number 3, integrate with global supply chains. 4, develop engine MRO capability. You already spoken on that. Recognize MRO as an infrastructure sector. And also some issues related to the land at airports and optimize on their charges. So I'll invite you after 5 minutes again to give us your thought process on these points. But in the meantime, my right hand side is really heavyweight, my powerful friends. In fact, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, whom I have had the opportunity to serve at some time in my life, they are the prime sponsors of this program, and they have been kind enough to give us 2 very eminent speakers, Ramesh and Mr. Jaiswal. Mr. Ramesh, as I told you, is the person who looks after the MRO, one of the biggest defense MROs in our country. So Ramesh, I'll request to you, take about 5 to 7 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes rather. Tell us about 1 minute HAL, 1 minute what you do, and 4 minutes what is the future of defense MRO in the country. इसको पास में ले लीजिए.
Sir, very good afternoon, sir. Dr. Tyagi, sir. And very good morning, good afternoon to all my friends sitting here. I may little bit talk on technical aspects because I'm a technical lad working in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. I'm K. Ramesh, basically a mechanical engineer. I have worked in manufacturing. Before that I was in design, I was in manufacturing, and now I worked in composites also. I was heading composite division. Now I am into maintenance, repairs and overall division general manager. I am a business head. Actually, we basically at HAL work on the preparedness of the country for any eventualities which we are going to face. Always our main aim is getting ready for the preparedness, operational readiness of the country. So we have 2 types of time. One is the war time, other is the peace time. I am working in HAL wearing the HAL uniform, but I am always standing in HAL as a face of the customer. My main customers are Indian Army, Indian Air Force, Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard. Indian Coast Guard and Indian Navy, normally they operate on the shoreline operations and the deep sea operations. So this is basically we operate. We have got 300 plus helicopters what we do. I basically work on rotary wing, but HAL as a whole we do both fixed wing as well as rotary wing, and now we are getting into REAVs also. Fine. Now, you have to pardon me if I am getting into more of technical things because I am a technical lad. Now what I would like to say is, can you please put the presentation of MRO? What I am just trying to talk is about achieving the accelerating growth on the global competitiveness. Next please. There is a very huge opportunity for MRO if we take it in the aerospace industry. We are right now 85 to 90% of the works goes precisely to Dubai, Singapore and Malaysia for servicing. Majorly when you get into servicing of either a helicopter or an aircraft, we have got four major factors in that. One is the airframe, as our friend Ashok was telling, they are self-sufficient in doing it. The only issue is the power plant. Power plant is the most very, very critical aspect in an aircraft. It's a rotary wing or a fixed wing. Then comes the avionics. Avionics is nothing but the electrical and electronics portion of the aircraft. The problem is what happens, the major stakeholders of the avionics is probably they come from Israel as well as the sister divisions of Safran. So normally what happens is we depend on them for all those things. That is why most of the things 85 to 90% is going on. And presently what we have for around about $2 billion, having a plan of by 2035 to 2040 from 4 to 6 to $7 billion of business. Next please. And basically I should not use the problem statement. The basic things what MRO has to concentrate is the revenue, because the job is exported a lot from India to the outside countries. Because of the previous slide, as I am saying, 90% of the job is going outside. And the second one is no established ecosystem. Establishment of ecosystem is there, but not to the extent of what we are talking of a completely MRO business what we have. The other is national economic imperative. This is, for me, HAL, I talk it as not a niche problem, but if you take it as outside, it is a problem. So it is basically a macroeconomic challenge that demands urgent and collective action. It's a collective action. I mean, with the government as well as I am putting it to the fast, they have to take it forward. Next please. And the main key barriers for MRO to be completely taken over in Asia, especially in India, is the one is the taxation cost disadvantage. It is, the relief is there, but I am telling exclusively for the import duty and the GST and MRO spares, tooling and equipments, because tooling and GSE equipments plays a very, very major role for, basically we call it as TAT, the turnaround time of an aircraft or an helicopter. That depends upon on the tooling and equipments, test equipments and the spares. So lot of tax advantages has to come in. And the second is the regulatory gap approval, that is between the, especially the aircraft which are from the abroad, we need to have not only DGCA, we need to have both EASA and FA. So that regulatory gap is there, that has to be fulfilled. And the next is the limited OEM partnership, because a lot of proprietorship is there in the OEMs. That proprietorship has to have a dialogue and then that has to have a common cognizance. Next please. Obviously this is a skilled manpower, infrastructure limitations and the clusters we need to have to plug and play for the MRO zones. Next. For all those things, to overcome the problems, we should have the digitization thing. The digital MRO is very imperative. That is the predictive maintenance, which helps for my TAT. The digital twins, we need not get into the actual repair of the LRUs. If we have digital twins, we can be ready with the replacement of line replaceable units, and the AI-driven forecasting, which gives us the forecasting inventory. What I would like to say is the cost across the fleets, it can be reduced a lot if I have AI-driven, because it is already been put into the lot of data. And the last one is the AR-assisted maintenance. This AR-assisted maintenance, I don't know, but we have taken this AR-assisted maintenance in composites. It's like when the items are at the base, we need not defute the team and go and do the job. With the AR assistant, augmented reality and the virtual reality, we can do the rework of a component when with respect to the person one who is defining from this place. Next. And the India digital advantage, I'm calling it as a winning strategy. It is like the world class, the IT ecosystem, almost it is existing and it's only a final tuning. And the deep pool. Deep pool is nothing but the strong STEM talent. STEM talent is the order of the day. That is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. The basis and data scientists available at a cost. This is not completely available because the available has been gone outside. So this we need to have. So we need to have a deep pool. When these two are there, the export will be ready for the digital MRO stack. Next please. So these are the recommendations what I had given earlier in the issues, the same, it's answer for this. The complete GST and customs rationalization, establishment of dedicated MRO clusters, fast tracking global recognitions with EASA and FA. Next. This is very important. National AME training mission
Yeah.
and MRO task force. What I would like to tell here about this training, one is the AMEs, as morning our friend was telling that every year 5,000 people are coming out from the training institute. That is one portion of it. The second one, what I am trying to tell is, if you want a skill sets of people working on an aircraft or an helicopter, I'll assure you, we have got one new scheme which has been released by the Prime Minister called as a